I'm Maria, and this is the Agile State of Mind. Welcome! In this 2022, I wish to all of you to look at the world through some pink glasses. Happy New Year! Today, we're going to continue with our Scrum Master Stances series, and today, we're going to talk about the facilitation. Scrum Master as a facilitator. Can you imagine a Scrum Master with poor facilitation skills? It would be like having a developer with poor coding skills. It's possible, but is it desirable? Facilitation is at the core of Scrum Master or Agile Coach role. You can think about it as being a psychologist at the back of the room. Sit back, relax, read the room, and help the participants achieve the goal of the meeting. Facilitation, if well done, is an art. Yet, you can learn a few important rules and techniques to step up your game as a facilitator and considerably increase the effectiveness of team collaboration and meeting. Today, I'll share a few of those. Let's start! Let's start from clearing up what is facilitation. So you might ask yourself whether facilitation is exclusively reserved for meetings, workshops, and training. When we meet with a couple of people to discuss something, because we need to clarify that, is that already a meeting? Is any discussion a meeting? Because right now, especially those that work in distributed teams, you just cannot go on the corridor and talk. You need to schedule it in the calendar and make it a Zoom call. Facilitation, it's all about driving collaboration and making things easier, making sure that people talk, get aligned, and helping them to achieve their goal. Let's see what the dictionaries say about it. Oxford Dictionary. To facilitate means facilitate something to make an action or a process possible or easier. And a facilitator, by Cambridge Dictionary, means someone who helps a person or organization do something more easily or find the answer to a problem by discussing things and suggesting ways of doing things. Wikipedia adds to it an important clause that in doing so, the facilitator remains neutral, which means that the facilitator would not take a particular position in the discussion. So what we gathered here is that a facilitator helps to make actions and processes possible and easier, helps find answers to problems by introducing some guidelines and practices, like liberating structures, for example, and stays neutral to conversation, not taking sides, but rather encouraging collaboration. And now, let's see what does it have to do with Scrum. To be honest, I expected quite a lot more about facilitation in Scrum Guide. So I searched the words facilitation in the Scrum Guide and I found only one entry. That's why for this video, I will again use a lot of Lisa Atkins' Agile coaching book, where she explains a lot about facilitation and how to do it. We know that as per Scrum Guide, Scrum Master is accountable for establishing Scrum as per Scrum Guide, along with being accountable for team's effectiveness. We can tie the facilitation to the helping the teams being effective. And the only time that Scrum Guide mentions facilitation is when it says Scrum Master facilitates stakeholder collaboration as requested or needed. Let's move on to Lisa Atkins and her Agile coaching book for some tips and tricks on how to be a great facilitator. So let's start with the basics. Every Agile meeting has a specific purpose that answers the question, why do we do this meeting anyway? Coach teams to achieve that purpose, using it as a check to ensure they are getting as much out of the various Agile meetings as possible. So, to Lisa's point, we will now try and pimp our facilitation skills using some strange acronyms that people invented. And let's start with the question that Lisa asked. 1. Why do we do this meeting anyway? Before scheduling any meeting, think about what do you want to achieve. Ask yourself, if it's really needed, can this be an email or can this be an async document instead? If not, think well about what do you want to achieve, and also ask people to prepare accordingly so we don't lose time on the meeting. 2. GAP, Goals, Agenda, and Pre-Meeting Preparation. This short acronym could be added to your working agreement with the team. That would mean that if there's no GAP, there's no meeting, or at least you're free to discard it from your calendar. What it means is that each meeting should have clear goal, an agenda, and some pre-meeting preparation. To the first point, that we don't waste time while we are on the meeting. 3. Wait. WAIT is an acronym of why am I talking? I should probably ask it myself more often. And it's a good thing, especially for the facilitators, that we should be the neutral people in the meeting to refrain from talking. So when you are feeling like talking and you want to start and give your opinion, think in your head, does it actually make sense? Will I bring something to the conversation? So if you jump right on it, you might impede some other people with some valuable views from talking. So think about why am I talking before you actually start talking, and give way to some other collaborators and encourage other people to speak. And last but not least, ELMO. Remember the Muppet? It's an acronym. Enough. Let's move on. And this is something that happens to all of us in the meetings. We get into some conversation, we end up in a loop. To break the loop, you can just show the elmo. And this could be one of your working agreements as well. When you show the elmo, you actually ask everybody, should we move on? Or do we want to keep talking about this subject? And now let's talk about how to slowly disappear and basically resist the urge to be the center of attention. Lisa offers some great advice on becoming the master of facilitation. And lesson number 1 is start big and slowly disappear. Intervene with the team more in the beginning when you are teaching them Agile, and step back as soon as you can to support their continuous self-organization. And this is getting back to the teacher stance from this video here. So when you are at the shoe phase from Shuhari, at the first one, the fundamentals, you can probably intervene more because you are still teaching the team how to do Agile. But once the team moves to Shuhari, then it means that they are looking themselves for some solutions. You can slowly back off because you are becoming a mentor and a coach. You can step back and let them take the lead. Make a conscious decision before offering anything to a team, and only offer the things that carry benefits that outweigh the interruption. I find this one important. You need to weigh whether your intervention will be of so much value that it will outweigh the cost of breaking the flow of the meeting and interrupting it. This is the part where we go back to what I said at the beginning, being this psychologist at the back of the room. You sit there, you observe, you become a keen observer, and you only interrupt when you think it's really necessary, and usually it would mean that you are taking the meeting to a next level. For that, become great at delivering powerful questions, powerful observations, powerful challenges. What it means in practice? Well, in practice, if you see that people are running in circles and don't know, and you see a lot of people quite confused, what you just set up a meeting with some key people. So you share a Miro, you create a very simple structure, and you guide people. Let's together define what problems we see, because maybe we don't even see the same problems. Maybe if you let the participants define their problems, you might find out that they are not even aligned on the problems they have. And then once you get them aligned, you move on and you find actions to solve those problems, to fix them, and put an owner to all of the actions from the participants, so that we have somebody responsible to make that improvement happen. And that's basically what it takes to be a great facilitator. Now, I would like to finish today with a metaphor that Lisa used. She talks about the facilitator creating a container for the participants to fill in with their content, with their ideas, and with their solutions. And that's all for today. I hope this video will help you step up your game in the facilitation. Thanks for watching, and once again, Happy New Year! Bye bye!